A woman is sucker punched while trying to cross the street.
And a man's custom bicycle is stolen from his front yard. How you can help him get his wheels back in just a bit.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Drew Spire.
And I'm Sonia Hill. Good news tonight for Hurricane Harvey battered Rockport, and it comes in the form of a $5 million grant. And it might surprise you on what that money will be used for. Yeah, that money is going to help Rockport build a new center for the arts, believe it or not. But the bigger picture is boosting the city's economy. Action 10, Seth Kovar is here and live in our studio. You know, Rockport has a lot of post-Harvey needs, but I'm curious, why an art center?
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to city leaders about that today. And I got some answers. Mayor Patrick Rios tells me that the local art scene is a huge part of Rockport's economy. That's because he says it boosts tourism, an industry that took a big hit in Harvey. Now, the art scene took a hit too when the hurricane destroyed the Rockport Center for the Arts, something that hit very close to home for a man I met today. You rode out Hurricane Harvey on a boat?
Yes.
The boat Craig Hack lives on in Rockport Harbor amazingly suffered very little damage during the hurricane. The same can't be said for the Rockport Center for the Arts. This is the lot in the harbor where it once stood before Harvey ripped it apart and sent parts of it flying toward Craig.
I rode the hurricane out here and most of the roof hit my car.
The art center reopened under a new roof downtown, but even with a portable building to provide more space, there's still not enough room for all of the art and programs offered there. That's about to change.
This is one of the most exciting days I've been involved in.
Aransas County Judge Burt Mills's excitement is because of a federal government grant of $5 million. It puts the Art Center over the top when it comes to paying for a new 12,000 square foot building right next door to their current space.
This is a major step in the recovery and future development for the city of Rockport.
Congressman Michael Cloud agrees that it's build it and they will come.
Part of rebuilding the tourist economy here in Rockport is the arts and what draws people to here and gets the economy going.
An economy based largely on tourists that Craig says didn't show up very well last season.
We're not getting our winter Texans like we normally do.
Well, they hope to break ground on the new Center for the Arts by the end of the summer and open for business by the end of 2021. Now, if you add in today's grant, the federal government's Economic Development Administration has given more than $20 million to coastal bend communities. Some other examples: $5 million to Ingleside to build State Highway 200 for better hurricane evacuation routes. And Port Aransas received another $5 million to rebuild the city's marina, an important part of that local economy as well. Sonia?
Thanks a lot, Seth. I can't wait to check it out. Meanwhile, back here in Corpus Christi, an 87-year-old man is searching for a stolen bicycle, and he's asking for you to keep an eye out for his one-of-a-kind bike that also happens to be his primary means of transportation. Action 10's Brenda Matudi has more for us tonight.
John Lewis has macular degeneration.
I can't see to drive.
So he built a customized bicycle to get him around town.
I moved all my doctors over here and my dentist and everybody. I've got them somewhere in close range so I can get to the haircut or whatever I need.
But last Sunday, his only means of transportation was taken right from his front lawn. Just outside his bedroom window is where John says his bike was covered up as well as charging when someone stole it.
I have a light that goes on, a motion light. That didn't seem to bother him.
Lewis says he bought the bicycle at Walmart, but with a little craftsmanship, he invested about $1,000 to add a motor and customize it to fit his needs.
The seat is real long because I spent a lot of time on it. It can't be one of them little seats to put the batteries in, and they're very heavy. So they're going to have to do something to hold the batteries if they take my box off, and it's homemade.
Lewis also said this isn't the first bike that's been stolen from him, but it's the one he had worked on the most.
This one had a few more things on it than the first one. My bicycle goes 22 miles an hour.
Now he just hopes if anyone sees it, they'll contact authorities so the bike can be returned to its rightful owner. Brenda Matudi, Action 10 News.
A woman walking on a Brooklyn sidewalk was sucker punched by a stranger. See for yourself. The man was walking down the sidewalk, turned toward a woman crossing the street, and then punched her right there in the head, sending her straight to the ground. Took a quick glance, and the 27-year-old woman casually walked off. Police believe it was random, and they're now looking for that man. The woman was able to drive herself to a hospital where she was treated for a head injury.
A teenager is beaten by troopers and sheriff's deputies, and the whole thing was caught on camera. It happened last November in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and the dash cam video of the incident was released just earlier today. It shows a car chase come to an end and state troopers along with Berkeley County sheriff's deputies yanked the teen driver out of the wrecked car. They then repeatedly beat him. Since that incident, 2 troopers and a deputy have been fired. A grand jury indicted 1 trooper.
The U.S. Chemical Safety Board says it'll investigate the cause of the massive fire at a chemical plant near Houston. As of noon today, people living near the plant in Deer Park were allowed to leave their homes. They were ordered to shelter in place after elevated levels of benzene were detected in the air. The fire started Sunday and the flames spread to storage tanks holding chemicals used in gasoline, nail polish remover, glue, and paint thinner. The fire was finally put out yesterday.
New Zealand has now banned sales of military-style semi-automatic weapons and high-capacity magazines.
Time for the mass and easy availability of these weapons must end.
The ban comes only a week after 50 people were killed when a gunman attacked 2 mosques. The new law will take effect in just 3 weeks, and it includes a buyback scheme which could cost the country $138 million.
Still to come tonight, your car might get the boot if you have any unpaid parking tickets. We're going to tell you when the new parking enforcement campaign begins next.
Plus, the Justice Department's fraud unit is looking into Boeing after the crashes of 2 737 MAX airliners. What they are looking for when Action 10 News at 10 comes right back. Pay all unpaid parking tickets now or get the boot. And by boot, we mean a wheel lock placed on your car's tires. Beginning in April, notices will be sent out to drivers with unpaid citations or parking violations. A 10-day grace period will be given to pay those fees. But starting on May 6th, officers will be on the lookout for vehicles belonging to those who have yet to pay up. And if found, your car will either be booted or towed.
Well, this year's Great Texas Warrant Roundup netted over $1 million because they took care of more than 5,900 warrants. During the 3-week period, unpaid municipal fines or outstanding warrants were paid, and it brought in actually $1.2 million. 148 people were arrested. Last year's roundup cleared a little more than 4,200 warrants, at 1,700 less than this year's roundup.
And still ahead, more problems for Facebook. The newest issue to arise next.
And Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen pays a visit to the Rio Grande Valley today. Who joined her after the break? But first, let's check in with Cole and a quick look at the forecast.
Guys, a dark sky out there right now, but we had some beautiful sunshine earlier in the day today. How long is that sunshine sticking around? And how does that all-important weekend forecast look? The details coming up next.
Now, Action 10's Cole Vaughn with your Doppler 10 weather forecast.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Well, we had some gorgeous sunshine across the coastal bend today. Here's how we started things out there in Rockport. A beautiful sunrise as it popped up over the water there, and then we had completely sunny skies for a good majority of the morning. Now, as we got into the afternoon, we started to throw a little bit more cloud cover back into the picture. You can't quite see it here on the Rockport camera. Also noted that it looked like the grass got cut right out there at Rockport. I think I saw the little lawnmower going across there. Okay, well, today was a good day to get outside and cut the grass because as we head into this weekend, yeah, that's not going to really be the time for it. Let's also talk about the sky conditions because you know what? It has been cloudy around the coastal bend for a good chunk of 2019. We've seen sunny skies for only 8 days, and today was actually that 8th day of all year that we have seen sunny skies. 53 of the days so far have been cloudy and 54 of them have recorded fog. So it's been pretty gloomy out here. It's something we had in January, February. We haven't been able to break that stretch in March. Hopefully April offers something better. Now it's time we also get some rain as well because 10% of the state of Texas is now in drought, and unfortunately South Texas is where most of that drought is located. You see over here in the peach color, that's in moderate drought. The orange is in severe drought, and the yellow is kind of that warning stage where you're almost in drought. And you can see this is really beginning to expand across a good majority of South Texas. You can see here in the coastal bend over there in Duval County, up there toward George West and northern B County, as well as where we're seeing a lot of that drought beginning to encroach. As we go throughout the next 7 days, going to feel very spring-like. Temperatures in the 70s to low 80s all the way through the end of the 7-day forecast. So it's looking very spring-like as we go throughout the next week. Today felt spring-like because we had high pressure in place. That brought in some good sunshine to the region, but we are already watching another another weather system out there over the western U.S. Now, originally it was looking like this was going to start to move a little bit more directly east. That is beginning to change, though, as this is starting to move further to the northeast as it tracks through the United States. So watch as we go throughout the day. Tomorrow, it continues to move up there to the north, and then on Saturday, it actually makes it up there more into Kansas as opposed to North Texas. So that means the rain chances are all shifting north now. We're seeing the widespread rain expected further up there, closer to that low, a little more scattered there for Oklahoma and North Texas. And here in South Texas, I think our rain chances are actually dwindling. We're still really just at that isolated range. As we head on into Sunday, that low pressure is going to start to hightail it out of here, and we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds, but potentially still a stray shower even as we wrap up the weekend. Now, the reason why we're seeing these rain chances dwindle is because the area that helps build those showers and storms, and that would be the energy in the atmosphere, it's all located around this area of low pressure. So where you see the reds and the oranges, that's where there's good cloud producing energy at. There's a little bit over the state of Texas as we hit Saturday, but not a whole lot of it. Most of it is up there closer to that weather system in the plains. So that's why our rain chances are going to be more of an isolated nature, I think. So for tomorrow's forecast, starting the day nice and clear with plenty of sunshine, but as we go throughout the day, the clouds are going to gradually increase. You see by lunchtime, we're already starting to see some of those clouds pick up south of I-37. They continue to increase as we head into the afternoon, with some folks, especially to the southwest of town, likely completely cloudy as we finish things up. Temperature-wise, we're going to start the day around 53 degrees, finish up around 77 for that afternoon high temperature. It's also going to be a little bit breezy tomorrow afternoon with that southeast wind at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Well, now it's time for your 7-day forecast, brought to you by AutoNation. Get one price pre-owned vehicles at AutoNation. Every vehicle is clearly marked with just one price. Shop now at AutoNation.com. So temperatures are going to be in the 70s for the next 3 days. We're up to 79 by the time we hit Sunday. Still mostly cloudy skies on Saturday. Can't rule out some sunshine, but I think some isolated showers are definitely going to be a possibility. As we head into next week, things look very spring-like with that mix of sun and clouds. No rain chances in the forecast, and temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Sonia?
Thanks a lot, Colvon. There are some reports tonight that say some optional equipment might have prevented the 2 deadly crashes involving Boeing's MAX 8 airliner. Here is the very latest.
Boeing is making changes after a pair of deadly crashes involving its newest airliner, the 737 MAX. In October, 189 people died when a Lion Air jet crashed off the Indonesian coast. 157 were killed when Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 went down on March 10th. For over a week, the plane has been subject to a worldwide grounding. And while Boeing and others try to determine what went wrong, the aircraft manufacturer is itself under investigation.
These kind of cases hinge on what did Boeing know and when did they know it, and who did they tell about it or not tell about it.
Sources tell CBS News that the Justice Department's fraud unit is looking into Boeing, issuing a subpoena for documents, records, and data related to the 737 MAX approval process.
If there is any kind of documentation that indicates that they knew there was a problem and either didn't resolve it to the satisfaction of the FAA or didn't reveal that, that could put them in jeopardy in terms of a possible criminal violation.
It is not yet known what caused either jetliner to crash. Preliminary data indicates both planes struggled to gain altitude within minutes of taking off. On Thursday, Boeing said it would no longer charge airlines extra for a warning system that alerts pilots to a sensor failure. It had been offered as an $80,000 option on the 737 MAX, which costs about $120 million. But it appears neither plane that crashed was equipped with it. Mo Lulengi, CBS News, Reagan National Airport, Virginia.
Boeing is preparing an update for the software that controls the 737 MAX's computers. The company hopes to make it available by next month.
A Florida man who sent more than a dozen pipe bombs to prominent critics of President Trump pleaded guilty in federal court today. That's the plea Cesar Sayoc entered for 65 counts, including using weapons of mass destruction and the illegal mailing of explosives with intent to kill or injure. Through tears today, Sayoc said he knew his actions were wrong and he apologized, saying he never intended for any of the 16 devices to explode. He'll be sentenced in September and he faces life in prison.
The problems continue to stack up for Facebook. The social media giant admitted that it failed to properly mask the passwords of hundreds of millions of its users. Facebook says the passwords were stored in an internal database that its workers were able to access. The company did not say how long the passwords were stored, but the company did say the issue was discovered back in January during a security review. Those affected will be notified.
One woman who claimed Dr. Jaime Sandoval sexually assaulted her will not be filing charges. Last year, Sandoval was indicted on 3 counts of sexual assault. 2 of those felony charges were later reduced to misdemeanors. During a hearing this morning, prosecutor Angelica Hernandez said she found a video statement from a woman saying she did not want to file the charges.
We're going to wait on this last sexual assault allegation, and then what we'll do is we'll go to the misdemeanor court and we'll take care of those cases, and hopefully he will be out.
Dr. Sandoval remains in jail. He is charged with 2 misdemeanors and aggravated assault for a separate case.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen spent the day in the Rio Grande Valley. Nielsen, along with 25 sheriffs from around the country, including from Nueces and Refugio County, toured the border wall. Nielsen says overcrowding is depleting Border Patrol resources. It is an issue that our area sheriffs say directly affects the Coastal Bend because Highway 77 is one of the most trafficked avenues in the country.
We have 25 miles of Highway 77 running straight through the heart of Nueces County, and Highway 77 is the pipeline to Houston and beyond.
The Refugio County Sheriff Pinky Gonzalez and Nueces County Sheriff John Chris Hooper have implemented programs in their jails to combat the issue tomorrow. Sheriff Hooper will get a look at another concern along the border, private ranches. They have become illegal points of entry without the owner's knowledge.
This is your Action 10 Kitchen Cops Report, brought to you by Chubby's Mattress, where there's no limit to what a man and a dog can do.
There are a couple of perfect scores and one B-list restaurant in tonight's Kitchen Cops Report. Don Jorge's, a food truck, and Southern Charm Home Cookin' on Rand Morgan both scored 100s. Landing on the B list with an 82, Royal India of Corpus Christi on SBID. Some of the violations here included drinks stored in an ice machine, food on the floor, home pest product inside the restaurant, rodent droppings, gnats. Cups were used to dispense dry goods. There was also dirty equipment, and all unnecessary items in the back storage area needed to be thrown away. So if you have a complaint that we need to know about, all you have to do is call 826-7222. There is always somebody on duty, and if you'd like to see the list of businesses featured tonight, just head over to our website, kztv10.com.
A very popular clothing store honors Selena with a line of clothes. How you can get your hands on that new collection next.
And an interesting exhibit at a local museum looks into what role surfing played during the Vietnam War. Those stories and more when we come back.
Crash test ratings for nearly a dozen pickup trucks show there is plenty of room for improvement. A popular Ford model did well, but a Toyota truck was the worst performer in the bunch.
This is what happens if a Toyota Tundra clips a tree or another car.
The big problem with the Toyota Tundra is that the occupant compartment falls apart in this test.
Researcher David Zuby says out of 11 pickups tested by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, the Tundra showed the worst performance in a passenger side small overlap crash. That's an accident involving the front right corner of the vehicle.
Small overlap crashes, we estimate, account for about 1/4 of the serious injuries and deaths that come from frontal crashes altogether. The typical thing is that the front corner of the bumper gets pushed back into the wheel then gets pushed back into the front of the occupant compartment.
Automakers have made improvements on the driver's side, but on the passenger side, more than half of the 2019 models got marginal or poor ratings.
The trucks with the best passenger side ratings are the Ford F-150, the Ram 1500, and the Nissan Titan. The only truck to score a top safety pick was the Honda Ridgeline.
The Honda Ridgeline is the only pickup truck among those that we've tested so far that's got good rated headlights. So it's really the only one that we would recommend people drive at night.
The IIHS hopes its ratings will encourage automakers to make design changes that offer better protection to the people who use their trucks. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
If you know a young person interested in a career in the military, Congressman Michael Cloud is hosting an event this weekend to help answer any questions that they may have.
We have in our South Texas, there's a great heart to serve our country. We love our veterans, we love our service members, and those who are interested in serving, this is a great opportunity.
It's called Academy Days. It's happening Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Ortiz Center. The event is for the general public with a specific target aimed at students in grades 8th through 12th, as well as their parents.
A new workforce training program at Del Mar College's West Campus got a nice boost today. Gulf Coast Growth Ventures, the group behind the proposed plastics plant in Portland, donated $1.5 million to the college. The money will be used for equipment and computer programs to help train students for jobs at that plant or similar facilities. The training program should be ready to go by this summer.
A Vietnam War exhibit is now at the Texas Surf Museum on North Water Street. It's called China Beach, Surging During the Vietnam War. The exhibit illustrates how surfing was used as a healing mechanism during the war. Pictures and videos are on loan from the California Surf Museum. Proceeds from the exhibit will be used to offer surf camps for military members and their families.
A new clothing line at Forever 21 honors the late Tejano singer Selena. It's called Selena the White Rose. Items consist of various pieces that incorporate the famous images of Selena alongside quotes in her song lyrics. You can buy the collection in stores and online, but it will run you between $7 to $27. This is a one-time collection. That means that once items run out, that's it.
An 8-year-old boy battling a life-threatening disease, and his dad is asking for people to send birthday cards to him. Kieran Clark will spend the next month in the hospital. That includes his birthday. He's already been through 43 surgeries in his young, short life. His father just wants to put a smile on Kieran's face.
It's going to be a long month, but we've been through it before, and just I'm over it. It's trying to get him better, and hopefully this whole thing will put a smile on his face, and it'll make me feel a lot better seeing him smile. So,
if you'd like to help put a smile on Kieran's face, all you have to do is send a birthday card to this address on the screen in Wilmington, Delaware. You see that address there on Rockland Road, 19803.
A bulldog is the new face of Cadbury. Henry is his name. He's from North Carolina, and he has just been named the candy company's next Easter bunny. He was picked out of 4,000 contestants, which included a gecko, a llama, and even a horse. By the way, that ad campaign starts next month, and previous Cadbury campaigns featured a bunny that clucks like a chicken. We'll see if that tradition continues. Well, you may want to stay with us. We'll be right back. It was quite the sight over Los Angeles.
Sure was. Expert skydivers flew through the sky in downtown LA, actually over the city. The team wore special wingsuits equipped with LED lights and pyrotechnic sparks that left a trail of light behind it. Pretty cool looking shot
Whoa.
here. They jumped from a helicopter from 4,000 feet and reached speeds of more than 120 miles an hour. The Red Bull Air Force wingsuit flyers put on the show to celebrate the third and final supermoon of 2019 as it rose over the skyline.
Would you do that?
No, but I'd like to watch it.
I wouldn't do it either.
Cool.
I'm kind of scared of heights.
120 miles an hour?
No, thank you.
So. That's all of our time for tonight. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you again here tomorrow at 4.
Good night, everybody.